Hey pals and gals, it's part 2 of my camp counselor story time. Okay, so I woke up one night after posting my first video and realized I forgot to mention the shower house drama that happened on day 1. Still day 1. After day 1, not much drama happened though. And by the end, you know, some other counselors had to deal with literal crap that was going to be thrown. That will later be discussed. But before we get into the main story, if you haven't seen my last video where I talked about my great problem child's first day and the drama we call Cabin Mom, make sure you go watch that full video for the juicy details. Hey, and since you're already here for the chaos, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more of my ridiculous stories or GFX tips. But either way, the first night was absolute chaos in the shower house. To paint the full scene for you, there were 4 bathroom stalls, 5 sinks, and 4 showers for a whole hill of girls. Yep, didn't go great. As counselors, we're expected to shower after lights out or the official need to go to bed time, because as counselors, we get no sleep. But that's the trade-off for great memories. When I first arrived, I saw the chaos. A sea of girls doing skincare and blocking the sinks. So I stepped up to the bench in a corner to become the official shower house traffic light. Easy spotting sinks that were free and just free showers. Another counselor we'll call Amy was originally helping manage things, but it wasn't working, which is why I stepped in. She had told me her camper, who we'll call Ginger, desperately needed to get out. Amy's other kids had been finished ages ago, and they were waiting on Ginger. As counselors, we call the girls in our cabin our kids. Normally, this is like 5 to 7 girls. But Ginger was warned by me, Amy, and another counselor countless times that she needed to get out. We pre-warned campers that they only have 3 to 5 minutes to finish their showers because literally 40 other kids and counselors need to be clean and in bed. I have actually timed myself doing a 3 to 5 minute shower with basic necessities, and I was able to do it just fine. So we always attest to the kids that if the counselors can do it, so can they. By this point, though, Amy was done with Ginger. She literally said, "Turn off the water, you're done." Ginger at this point was crying because some other words were said, but she ran to the other side of the shower house to finish getting ready. I felt bad, but agreed with Amy. We both backed up each other at the end of the night, confirming we gave Ginger countless warnings, but we all agreed something needed to be done for the next night to ensure no one else ended up in tears by the end of the night. Other than the first night, though, it was smooth sailing for the most part. On my end, other than a few hiccups, I made it to the end of the week. Getting the kids down the hill with all their bedding and clothes was another issue entirely. My problem child, of course, literally had the most issues coming down. Every piece of her clothing was muddy. I, at this point, was over the week and just wanted to sleep in my own bed. So I said, "We can come back for it. Let's just go to the main lodge." We get a large trash bag for her to use to pick up the entirety of her clothes, so at least she can make it home. Keep in mind, we remind parents that their child should be able to carry what they bring down the hill. The what feels like half a mile, 45-degree hill. But they must carry everything down the hill by themselves, as helping an entire cabin is impossible for 2 counselors to manage. But once said and done, all the kids left with their parents. It was over. I was happy and sad, but mostly happy. This was my last junior camp, but glad I had a few stories to share. But at the very end of camp, our director likes to circle us up before we leave. She just wants us to share a few high and low moments from each group and cabin. She also asks us to mention anything she might get a call about. A few counselors made simple comments, a bee sting here, and some minor shower house issues there. But then, let's call her Emma. Emma, a solo counselor, said the worst thing a counselor could imagine. She said the phrase, "If you know, you know, but I just want to make sure it's on your list." The poop incident. I know, this sounds crazy, but just listen to me. We all snapped our heads around and we were stunned, like floored. That's a counselor's absolute nightmare. Emma said she would explain to anyone who asked later, but I had no clue what this was about. So I immediately reached out after camp to one of Emma's close friends who happens to also be close with me. I then had to ask the question, what was the poop incident? My friend, though, was kind enough to spill the tea on the whole thing. So apparently, one of Emma's girls accidentally crapped herself while she was in bed. Shocked and stunned, the girl didn't know what to do, but she thought, get rid of the evidence. The best solution she thought of? To throw it. And so she did, landing right on Emma's bed. A literal piece of crap, an actual piece of crap, was thrown across the cabin and landed on a counselor's bed. Like, this is a nightmare, straight out of the underworld of a counselor's dreams. I can't help but thank every camp spirit that I didn't get that kid, I didn't get that scenario, and that just wasn't my problem, because at that point, I think I would have literally melted down. Like, who can blame me? I would be an utter wreck. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for listening, and thanks for staying until the very end. Let me know if you want more stories with speed GFXs being made in the comments. I have plenty of more stories to share, but this GFX was a really fun one to make. I did it a while ago. I forgot specifically when, but I loved making it. I think it turned out great, so also let me know what you think of the GFX in the comments down below. If you're interested in how to make a GFX, consider clicking one of the videos off to the sides.